So at People Plus, we're really trying to help you get from unemployment back into employment. And one quick thing that we're going to teach you to do is how to interview properly. Yes, interview properly. There is absolutely a skill in interviewing. And there's a couple of quick tips that you can think about before you get that dream interview for the job you've been trying to get.
Interview tip number 1.
How many opportunities do you get to make a first impression? 1. So you've got to make sure that that impression is a good one. And a couple of quick tips to do that. 1, make sure you turn up on time. Don't be late. A couple of minutes early would be perfect. And the other big thing to make sure that you're presentable. Whether that's a video call, face-to-face, whatever it is that we're now doing interviews through, make sure that you're presentable. Even just a shirt, you don't have to wear a tie, but something presentable where you think, I would hire that person. That's always what you want to think about.
Interview tip number 2.
Do your research with any organisation you're interviewing with. So what I mean by that is make sure that you've looked up the company, looked up, roughly what they do, where they're located. But even looking at things, if you want to stand out exceptional from the crowd, look at things like newspaper clippings. Look at if there's a news reports or they're doing anything positive so that you can turn around and say, oh yeah, I saw that in the news and I saw that you're doing very well. It's a big thing that makes a huge difference to organisations because it shows you're not interviewing for the sake of it. You're interviewing because you want to work for that organisation.
Interview tip number 3.
Be honest. If you go into an interview and you start telling porcupines, you will get found out. So be honest, and if you don't understand what they're saying, don't try and manipulate around a question that you don't understand. Just tell them you don't understand it, because you might find that if they word it in a different way, that you do understand the question. So just be honest from the get-go.
Interview tip number 4.
So like I said earlier, you only get one chance to make a first impression. Little things like body language really make a difference. So having eye contact with someone that shows that you're paying attention to them, that you're present in the room. And the other thing is when it comes to body language, make sure you're sitting up. You're not all slunched down because it shows that you're interested.
Interview tip number 5.
So I just mentioned there about being present in the interview, and another way to do that, a lot of interviews, especially just now, are being conducted through video calls. Turn off all notifications, because what you don't want is your little thing popping up and all the way through the interview that you're currently not paying attention.
Interview tip number 6.
Asking questions at the end of an interview absolutely get you to stand out from the crowd. And simple questions you can ask will be questions like, where do you see the company going in the next couple of years? You can then start to think about how you might be able to affect that. Or even things like the person interviewing you. How long have you worked for the organisation yourself? Because what you're looking at is opportunities within the business. It just has to be something simple, but make sure you ask a question because it will make you stand out in the interview.